And now you're watching Casino is the Name. On this channel, we talk about building wealth. We talk about finances. We talk about education. We talk about career. We talk about entrepreneurship. We talk about real estate. Now let's get this money. There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the Name. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now you're watching Casino is the Name, and in this video I wanted to talk to you guys about making your trucking business a passive investment. Okay, so this whole concept for this video came about from a video where I was comparing trucking versus real estate, and somebody commented on it and said, you know, this is a great video, and don't forget that once you get to a certain amount of trucks, then you can also make your trucking business a passive investment. And the whole reason the conversation was even coming up was because I was comparing a passive investment versus an active investment. So 9 times out of 10, most active investments or active businesses or active incomes will surpass you can say, passive income, passive investment. Usually, when you go to work and you actually work for that money that you're making, the amount of money that you're taking and investing is probably a small amount of money. But that amount of money that you're earning is usually greater than what you get in from your savings account interest rates and things like that, dividends. So those monies are typically not going to be as high because it's not an active business. It's not an active income. It's passive. So, in this video, me comparing, say, rental property to, say, an active trucking business, I was saying that the numbers don't really necessarily match up because it's an active business. So, of course, it's making way more money because it's an active business. But when I read this comment, of course, right? Like the goal of almost any business should be to be able to scale it to a point where it becomes passive income. No matter what your active business is, I don't care if you're selling candy. The goal should be to get large enough that you as the creator no longer have to be doing the day laboring behind that business. The goal is for you to be able to scale to a point where you can hire people under you who can do the work, and you just come in and sit on the board, or you just make sure everything is looking the way you want it to, and that you guys are still hitting the mission that you saw, and those types of things. Say Walmart, for example. I think his name was Sam Walton. He created, I'm not really sure. I think his name was Sam Walton, created Walmart, but he might have started with one store, but he grew to a point where he didn't have to be at the store anymore. This should be your goal. The founding family members of Walmart are not working in those stores anymore. They've scaled past that. So with trucking, you can definitely scale a business. You can definitely scale your trucking business well past you having to come in to actually work. So in a way, you can still make trucking a passive business, and it can make you millions and millions of dollars, right? And when I saw that comment, I said, man, I got to do a video on this because, we haven't even discussed that. Passive trucking, real estate income, things like that. We haven't. So how many trucks would it take for you to go completely passive? Would it be 5? Would it be 10? Would it be 15? Would it be 20? So I had to sit down and start looking at some numbers, right? And I realized that it's all going to depend on the type of truck that you're in. It's going to depend on what you're paying for the trucks. It's going to depend on basically your expenses, It's going to depend on your employees, how much are you paying your drivers, how much are you paying your management, because you have to find people. Say once you know your business, right? Let's say you got your business, you've learned the ins and outs, and you're able to start making money, you're growing. Now you need to be able to hand off your baby to somebody who's competent enough, whether maybe you have to train them, maybe they're experienced in this field as well, whatever it is, but you have to be able to hand off your business to someone competent enough to keep it going so that it doesn't go under. Even you yourself, before you even can get to that point, you're going to have to make sure that you can keep it going before, So you have to scale to a point where you can come out of the truck, well, not even necessarily out of the truck, but out of the day-to-day managing the roles of the business. You need somebody who also you can afford to pay. In my opinion, you should be able to afford to pay them a decent wage because they're taking on that full responsibility of things that you don't have. So as I was looking at all of this, I was thinking I would have 2 to 3 people. Maybe you have 2 top people and then 1 person under them to assist them, each one of them. So 2 to 4 people. This is how I would do it, right? If I was trying to grow, I would set up a plan to grow to at least this size before I say, okay, I don't have to be here for the day-to-day. I would not rely on 1 person to replace me. What I would do is I would try to scale to a point where I can pay $60,000 to $80,000 per major backup employee or management employee, $60,000 to $80,000, and I would try to have 2 of those. So that's $120,000 to $160,000 for just those 2 employees, and then I would try to find an assistant that I can pay $40,000, $45,000 to assist either one of them whenever they need help. The reason why I would have 2 kind of main top guys or higher level management guys is because I would want not necessarily the full load on either one of them, right? People gonna get stressed out. People gonna need breaks. They're gonna want to go on holiday breaks. They're gonna, those kind of things. Then I'm also looking at the amount of trucks that I would probably need in order to be able to afford the kind of infrastructure that I would want before I'm able to hand it off. Because before you actually hand it off or you go passive in that investment, you're going to be working it, and so you're going to already have people under you that you're going to be showing how to do things, and they're really just going to be backing you up so that when you do go out of town and you do go on vacation and you do go do something else, these people can help, will be your support system. But for you to go completely away from it and you just kind of check on them and make sure that they're doing things while you're still trying to scale up, because the goal is still to get bigger, right? You won't still just be trying to stay at that size, right? So I'm looking at the numbers, and it just depends on how much money you're bringing in, right? But I would say it would probably be 10 to 15 trucks before I could build that kind of infrastructure. Before someone that I would think would be able to build that kind of infrastructure where, you're able to afford. Not only because before I said, for safety reasons, I would try to scale to, I think I said 5 trucks. 3 trucks would be really the first time you kind of start getting some security, because 1 truck can go down, and while you got 1 truck down, you got 2 trucks paying for 3 trucks. You know what I'm saying? In case something happens until that truck is back on the road. But 5 trucks is the first, I think, sign of real security. Like, okay, I'm kind of good. I'm kind of, I got 4 trucks now. If one of them goes down, I got 4 trucks that can pay for 2, maybe for 1. But if I got 2 trucks down, at least I got 3 trucks that can get at least one of them back on the road. Maybe I still got to leave one of them down for a little while, but those 3 can get that one back on the road. Then we got that 4 paying for, for the one once we get the other one back on the road. So it's like 5 trucks is my first sign of security, kind of. 10 trucks, I think you're good. But it's still kind of tight. I still don't know if I would go completely passive at 10 trucks. It would just depend on how much money I'm getting, how much money would be in reserves, and what kind of personnel I have. It might be 15, 20 trucks before I would say, I would feel like someone, or that I would be completely comfortable with with being just completely passive in that. So, but yes, you can go passive with trucking. I think that should be your goal. If you can get 50 trucks on the road and you can build that infrastructure that can handle that many trucks, and you got multiple levels of employees, I would definitely do that. You free up your time to become greater, to do more, to try to become bigger. I think you should, that's what I would do if I was looking to go passive, which, we all want to go passive, I don't know about all of us. Some people just want to do it. I don't want to speak for everybody, but that, to me, that's what your goal should be, or that's what most people's goal would be. That's what my goal would be if I was trying to do something as far as being in the trucking business long term, or anything like that. I would definitely be trying to go passive, and I would definitely try to scale to as large as I can get. You see these Snyder trucks and these Amazon trucks and all these kind of trucks. They're trying to scale to as large as they can be, to as large as they can support. And of course, sometimes when you have a smaller, say, size fleet, you might make more money per truck, right? You might make more money per truck. You have a larger fleet, you don't necessarily need to make as much money per truck because you have so many trucks in order to kind of turn a profit. As long as you're profiting something per truck, you're probably going to be good because you have so many, versus you could be profiting way more with a smaller fleet, but if you got one truck and that one truck goes down, you're completely out of business. That larger fleet can take a little cut on each one of those trucks, but they got 200 trucks, So when 5 or 10 even go down, they still had 200 trucks, They still had 200 trucks, so they still good. But when you have a small fleet, like 1 or 2 trucks go down, you could be completely out of your business. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. Right now, you watch a Casino Is the Name, man. Get in the comment section, like, comment, subscribe, share this video. Hey, yo, what's going on? Right now, you watch a Casino Is the Name, and if you want to know how I started my trucking business, I have an ebook called Big Shot, Hot Shot, Volume 1, on your trucking authority. The link is going to be in the description. It'll pretty much tell you everything from if the taxes to different types of trailers and all sorts of things. It's a great book, 5-star reviews. Link will be in the description. Go get it. Yeah.
Beat me up, Scotty.
Me and her together, we just count it up. Money on my mind, I can't get enough. Don't play with my money, you don't want no beef. Cause I come from the bottom, I come from the streets. When she first saw me, she say, who is that? When a man saw me, he called me a threat. I'm the one that really live with a rap. They ain't never did it, they ain't really trap.
You say you want to be successful, but what's stopping you? Can't nothing stop you from being successful except for you.
You standing in your own way. I came from the bottom. I ain't know nothing but the grind. You can't tell me nothing about that. I caught the bus at Basin Street Projects in Tallahassee, Florida. You hear me? I used to think $1 million would last me my whole life. I'd have made that and spent that. $1 million ain't enough.
There are hedge fund managers making $1 million an hour. You know, it's crazy, right? It's money everywhere. It's money in everything. I want to help you. Start your business today. Come join my royal family. Subscribe to Casino is the name.